welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be looking at something a little bit different. I mean, we kind of see it in every attack. However, we're going to be taking a look at queen charges and just kind of seeing uh, what we can expect to gain from our queen and kind of like the uses that we get out of her. We're not going to be doing any like base breakdowns or anything. We're going to kind of just roll through the replays. Most of them are going to be from Chad. Chad had a really good showing in this Clan War League season and did a lot of queen charging. So Chad is one of our returning old school members of warwhales. So very talented player for a long time. So this is nothing really surprising to see. But let's go ahead and get into the first replay. And of course he's going to be using the hybrid. Now what he's going to be doing here that's a little bit different than most is Chad kind of has a old school way of funneling. Uh, Even back when I first started playing with Chad back in One Hive 2.0, he was kind of different in the way he did his funnels. He doesn't use like the standard like two balloons, baby dragon kind of thing. He does every once in a while, but he's very selective when he uses his funneling troops. Here he used some super goblins and he used like a Valak and a wizard. So really good identification to find out like kind of tailor his funnel to exactly what he needs. Now go ahead and pause it here. A big part about queen charging, especially when you're using like a back end troop that's hogs or miners. It's kind of important when you're using like a Lalo to get the queen and the enemy RC on your queen charge. However, it's also very important to get like even more value out of your queen when you're doing something like a hog attack or even a miners. Miners can take out enemy heroes, especially when you use them like under a rage or under a tome or a freeze or something like that. But the more you can get with your queen, the smoother the ride is going to be for your miner. So just looking at the base, he's going to be coming into this area with his queen. He's only got one wall breaker, so you can see that like this whole area here is going to be kind of where he wants his queen to work. And from this area, his queen can reach pretty far into the base. I mean, she can reach all these buildings here, here, pretty much anything that's within this first layer on the inside of these walls, which is going to leave him a nice path to come through with this hybrid, funnel down this side and then hybrid right into the town hall. But along this path, you see he's got the enemy king, enemy royal champ. He's got the queen down south, so he's probably not going to get the queen. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, the queen has range to get there. It's all going to be dependent on his spell usage. But what you want to do with these queen charges is make sure that you are engaging these enemy heroes or these high value defenses like scatter shots, infernos, the town hall, and enemy heroes. You want to be engaging them outside of the range of the clan castle. So the clan castle range is here, and you can see he's taking out the enemy king very early in the attack. Now he's going to get the eagle, probably not the best base building to have the eagle just one layer deep. And then you'll see that the scatter shot is actually going to be taken out while he's under fire from two expos, because he's got two expos on ground, the scatter shot. So that's kind of where the things start to heat up. And then this inferno tower is also in range of this clan castle, so it's going to be kind of requiring him to invest his free spells there to keep his queen going. But what I wanted to highlight with the enemy hero kill right here, he puts the rage deep enough to where his queen can deal with the enemy king with raged healers and gaining the benefit of the rage herself. If you can get your queen raged up through the enemy heroes, she typically has no problem just kind of mowing through those and staying topped off full health. And you're going to see when you can use that rage to get through the enemy heroes, if you can use it to get through both, like here, boom, he just mowed through two, maxed out heroes under one rage. A lot of times what will end up happening is we kind of force ourselves to use our rage spell pretty early, and the queen kind of steps out of it because we're so worried about keeping her raged up with the healers that we kind of go really shallow just to ensure that we get the healers in the rage, and that's not always exactly what you want. So there he goes. He's gonna phase his queen first, and then he goes ahead and opts to use the freezes. Then he's gonna rage her up again, and that's going to get her back topped off. Well, as close to topped off she can be. The miners and stuff are coming through to distract the Inferno. And the Queen now, if he would have been able to maybe get the hybrid started earlier, would have had her ability. And you see she steps out of the rage, and then she's not going to get the enemy Queen. So she almost does, but had that rage just been a little bit deeper, a little bit later, she would have ended up getting the enemy Queen, and then would have saved a bunch of her hogs. Because you can see right here, enemy Queen's just kind of pounding on those hogs till the miners can come through and take her out. Finally, she goes down. But you can see, even with miners, enemy heroes are kind of a pain in the ass to take down. So when you can, try to plan your rage spells in order to maximize the effectiveness of your queen going against those enemy heroes. And it's just going to make your life a lot easier on the back end, especially because your royal champ, she does have the ability to take out heroes, especially when they're distracted, but it ends up slowing her down a great amount, because if she's the only one like teeing off on enemy king, it takes her a long time, and that's a long time that you don't have her damage going off onto like a key defense that you might need. So the longer she's teeing off, Chad had a really close time fill right here. Go ahead and get into war 3. I think that's when his next triple was. Summer, Hardtech. Hardtech had a really good plan right here. This is actually gonna be a different take on how to use your queen, and so this is gonna be kind of like how different ways to use your queen here. And what we're gonna see from Hardtech here, he's coming in with a Yeti smash, and typically on a Yeti smash, you're gonna see something like a warden walk, like 99% of the time. And the reason why this attack is uh, different than what you normally would see is because enemy king is out here, and his range kind of prevents the warden from getting this first layer, because the warden is pretty bad, of especially in regards to like killing the enemy king. His damage is really high, but the enemy king damage is really high as well, especially when you take into consideration that these defenses are also going to be on the warden. So Hardtech's going to realize that, and realize that just investing a rage into his warden walk, he could probably get the enemy king down, but he can get all the value that he wanted out of that warden walk with a rage and his queen. So what he's going to be doing is kind of shifting his warden walk. He's going to set his funnel over here, and it's going to allow his queen to avoid this single inferno and walk this way. And you're going to see that in order to get value out of your queen, you don't always have to break her into the base. And what he's going to be eventually doing is using his queen to clear this way. He's going to funnel down south, and then he's going to sneak his Yetis into this channel right here. So it's a very tight channel. Would have been kind of difficult if there was Teslas here. He does have the siege barracks, which I believe he's going to use to kind of clear this way. But you're going to see, instead of using a warden walk, sometimes you just got to think back to how we used to do it with the queen walk, and kind of get into that, realizing that you have more options, especially because the queen, she has a lot more damage that comes quicker than the warden. So the warden does, I think, more damage just like head to head, but as far as like time to kill, you're not going to take that huge minute 10-second warden walk. You're going to be mowing through all kinds of defenses with your queen. So let's go ahead and show. Hardtech does a good job here of making sure he gets a good funnel. That's the more difficult part of the queen walk than the warden walk, is ensuring that you're getting that good solid funnel. So he uses 2 hogs there, and that's going to go ahead and make his funnel with his baby dragon. Baby dragon's going to go ahead and knock off that archer tower, and then at this point he knows he doesn't have to worry about his queen veering off this way, because this archer tower goes down, and these dead spaces here don't pull his queen in, so she's going to just kind of wrap this way. And you're going to see what I mean by time to kill here. His queen is going to do a lot more work than what his warden would just normally do. So he's going to go ahead and rage her up, like I said, using the rage to get her through the enemy king. Use the cocoa loon. Cocoa loons are very important, but that rage, she's just going to mow through this enemy king. The warden wouldn't be able to do this. And then using just 2 minions over there to make his funnel, now he gets his king down, And he's getting a lot of value out of just like very few troop space here. So the queen makes an excellent funnel, and then she's going to kind of step out of range of that warden platform. He's freezing it anyway because he doesn't want to use another rage, but she stepped out of range there. Now she's going to pop the ability, gets to the town hall. Now the dangerous part about your queen is your queen tends to get a lot closer to the buildings than your warden does, and that means that the healers are going to stay locked on your enemy queen. But as you can see, she's topped off now, full health, going into the base. Healers transition over to the Yetis, and then the hogs are going to come in this side, and they're going to go ahead and clean up this Inferno tower. So very good base identification here, only using the one jump to get kind of clear through the base, realizing that if he can get into the core, he's got his RC and a bunch of hogs, he'll be just fine. Still got 2 loons. I wouldn't be surprised if he uses them over here at 9. But he's got a ton of bowlers. And yep, I mean, it's pretty overkill. That's as good of a Yeti smash as you're going to pretty much get. And you can see the queen just kind of sped things up. Allows him to have more time working that back end than doing allotting that time for his front end troops. So I think there was another one in this war. Yeah, Kilo. All right, so Kilo's going to be kind of showing something. Now, this attack was kind of messy. Obviously, it is a fresh attack. And he is using a queen walk into dragons. So, and he's also using bats. So the reason why this got kind of messy is because he really did not want to invest any spells into his archer queen. And he didn't want to invest a rage. So he's not bringing a poison because he was expecting them to be running like a hound or whatnot. So if you can kind of see the CC range, he was hoping to keep his queen out of CC range for as long as possible. And you can kind of see that if he can clear like this section of the base with his queen, and then this section of the base with his RC, he can get his dragons into this core. And then on the back end, you know, as the dragons and stuff are tanking in the core, there's nothing really here to stop a really strong bat wave, or a bat bomb in this case. So that was his plan. Like I said, it gets a little bit messy, but this is just another way you can use your queen. Your queen doesn't always have to be a plan to take out like 75% of the base. You can use your queen kind of like as a missile to tactically take down a certain section of the base in order just to create pathing. Especially if you can get away with not really using any spells, then, you know, using a queen with 4 healers, it's like 100 and something troop space. It's almost like using a mini kill squad, but with just your queen. So he's going to get his queen in here. He's going to take down the air defense, do all that good stuff. And then what you're going to see is this Expo kind of locks on and forces the queen ability. And then here comes the CC. The archers are going to pull it early. And at this point, if he would have had a poison, it would have been a lot better. But he makes a late decision here to try to save his queen, and she ends up going down. So not a huge deal. He's using the king, a couple wizards to get his funnel. Now, he should have hit the ability and then just used his RC somewhere else, because the RC is going to end up chasing the lava hound and popping it. Now he's still going to get the benefit of using the RC ability, so it's not a complete waste because the RC ability still clears a good amount of defenses. So pops the hound, RC is going to end up dying off, but gets off the ability, gets a bunch of damage off from those high value defenses, and he still gets a really solid funnel here. So dragon's coming through. He hasn't used any spells yet other than that one freeze he kind of wasted, but freezes are kind of flexible, especially on like a bat wave if you can get enough value. So he tomes early, using that blimp to kind of be like a hellfire on the town hall. Town hall is going to go down, and here comes the bat wave. So everything's tanked. All the splash in the base is tanked. Gets the ice golem down, maybe a little bit early on the ice golem. I think he did lose quite a few bats to a red bomb, so the dragons end up kind of just powering through this base. But as you can see on the back end of the base, they do not have enough kick to kind of clear that single inferno, and the bats are going to do an amazing job. So keeping those freezes as flex spells, kind of just using his queen as like a tactical, you know, like a mini kill squad, just to take out a tiny portion of the base. And you can see sometimes that's all you need out of your queen. You don't always need like some crazy queen charge. I'm guilty of always trying to do some crazy queen charge. So Kilo there kind of showing us a different approach. And let's see, I think Chad had another triple in here. Yes, he did. All right, so this one is going to be a little bit of a heavier queen charge because Chad kind of sees a lot of opportunity in this compartment here. Realizing that, you know, a wall break on this T-junction and then a second layer wall break kind of opens up a ton of defenses. And with this being a multi-inferno, his queen can really, really work. So he's going to go ahead and get down his queen, kind of delaying the healer drop because of that air defense is so close to the outside, but angles his healers away, gets the wall break. Now his queen is, since he funneled here, his queen's going to knock out those Teslas, and then there's so much space in between that she's going to be forced in, and his queen's kind of just going for a ride now. So all the damage in this compartment is pretty much in the beginning. So he steps into the Warden. Warden's the highest hitting defense in this area. Steps into the Warden, gets the Warden down, and then you're going to see his queen kind of just get topped right back off. So healer's doing a really good job underneath that rage spell. And you see what I mean by sometimes we put our rage spells a little bit shallow. So that rage spell was like here. And there's so much space back here that if it would have just been a little bit forward, just kind of clipping those healers, his queen would have had a lot more punch going in there. So ends up using his last rage. Probably going to freeze here to get through the enemy queen and the town hall. Oh no, queen's going to take the town hall while the rage is going, and then hits the ability. This is when things can get kind of shaky with the eagle. Gets the enemy queen down, and now you can see he only has the like this really tight, narrow pathing through the base. He's going to be using this P.E.K.K.A. and these wizards to kind of clear through, and his RC is kind of working her way down to funnel towards his kill squad, well, his hybrid. So queen ends up staying alive. She makes it through, getting a ton of benefit. Loses quite a bit to those double giant bombs, but that's what I mean. You see how his RC is locked on the enemy RC? Not really detrimental, but you want her to be focused on defenses. And luckily there he had a ton of miners kind of working with his RC, so the enemy RC goes down very, very quickly. But I mean, Chad just crushed this base. Queen's still alive, beaten through a wall, of course. Chad was an absolute monster at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 back in the day when I used to play with him in 2.0. Absolute monster. So very nice job to him. And then I have a treat for you guys. A little samurai snip action. You know what I'm saying? We get Snip back in. He's doing clan war leagues with us. Any of you guys don't know, Snip was an original YouTuber for warwhales, and man, his content was really freaking good. So he's joining us just for these clan war leagues. So he had 2 triples, I believe. So I'm going to be showing those kind of like a bonus. And of course, he's doing a queen charge. You know, old samurai Snip here coming in with the queen charge. I think he gets a rage down right here. Yeah, there you go. Gets a rage down because that warden, you know, sometimes we have like this false sense of security. Uses the queen ability there. I'm not quite sure why. Didn't really need it. Maybe he forgot he had wall breakers. Oh, there he goes. He wall breaks over there. I think he was really focused on those Teslas, and that kind of forced him to panic and use the queen ability. But as you're going to see here, he's bringing 3 heals, so he's investing a lot into the hybrid portion. So he's expecting to clear most of the base with the hybrid, but King's doing a great job tanking. And then here comes his queen coming in for the next scatter shot and the eagle. If you can get the eagle and 2 scatter shots with your queen, I mean, there's not really too much in the base that's going to stop your hybrid. So really good charge here, even with kind of the panic ability. Not the end of the world. A lot of times we see someone use the ability early and we automatically think fail, and it's just sometimes the queen can just get enough value. So you can kind of see the pathing. I'm not going to really highlight it. You can see he can come from either side. And there he goes with the siege barracks up there. Going to use the hybrid to support his queen. His queen's going to start beating this wall. It'd be really nice if she would just start working her way down to that air defense. You got a fly in here. Man, it's driving me crazy. So here comes the hybrid. Not a maxed out base. Not the end of the world though. We're in like champs 2. We're not really looking to get promoted, so just kind of a relaxing time for us over here in warwhales. We ended up not making the playoffs, and it really sucks. So we're just kind of taking a week to take it easy, do some fun stuff. We've been seeing a lot of guys in the clan using TDH. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys remember that, but a lot of guys in the clan are using TDH, and it's actually been working out pretty well for some of them. We got TDH in the clan actually doing some FCs and kind of stopping by. So really nice to see him. That's another legendary old school whale. And then, I mean, look how many troops Snip has left. Snip is a god. His YouTube videos were so good back then. I used to watch all his freaking YouTube videos, man. He was like, he had me doing all kinds of crazy stuff in my clan war, or my clans. Swag's the heel. Nice heel. We used to, like, everyone would kind of do like the shattered go-ho and stuff like that. And I would get done watching the snip attack and be like, hey, I'm going with like a freaking Mossum, or, like a Grundinator or something like that. And they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you'll see. But Snip's coming in with a Queen Charge Lalo here. Now he's going to hit this Legends base. Again, coming in with the Queen Charge. You can just kind of see the theme. Queen Chargers are just outrageously strong right now. Gets down a Rage. Tries to get this cannon down early, which is actually a good call. But ends up soaking a couple Sams. Snip's kind of doing the old school stuff still. Pre-raging and all that jazz. I actually use pre-rages quite a lot on my queen charges, especially when I'm going into something like the enemy king or enemy queen. Uh, Man, this rage is just barely missing his healers, and you can see sometimes that can really cost you. He ends up pulling it back though. He's going for a triple layer here. Samurai Snip, triple layer wall break. Look at this. He's gonna get both scatters. Look at it, man. He's going hard right here. 4 rage queen charge. That's nice. That's a nice value right there. Let's see if we can get the town hall before he gets to see. Oh man. Yeah. See, in the first attack, remember I was talking about getting these high value defenses before the CC. In this case, you can see the town hall does a ton of damage. Ends up forcing another rage because of that damage and the CC. So unfortunate when that happens, but oftentimes when people, build good bases, that's kind of what they're going to be trying to force you to do. So it happens more than it doesn't. But his queen just got absolutely crazy value on this charge. Gets a sweeper, getting the air defense. Still hasn't used queen ability. Only has one spell. Kind of like a TDH here. Actually, this is a TDH. Holy smokes! Snip coming through with a TDH. I should have did its own video on this. This is crazy. So TDH, for those who don't know, it's kind of like a Queen Charge Lalo, except you are pretty much solely investing your spells into the Queen Charge, and you're not really using like haste spells for your Lalo. What you're doing is you're almost doing like an air hybrid. And the air hybrid is done by combining the loons with a ton of minions. So the minions kind of act as a minor portion to like your hog raid. And what it ends up doing is giving you can really push your queen really deep into the base, because with so many minions behind your loons, you don't really worry about time failing. And you just kind of force everything with the rage spell. So that's insane, man. I'm actually kind of disappointed that I didn't catch that was a TDH before I recorded it. But we have a ton of people using TDH, and I'm sure I'm going to get kind of like an actual breakdown of it. I think Chad had another triple. Alex, Deval, OTK. That might have been it. Matter of fact, let me check this war one more time. Yep. Is this the same one? Okay, yeah, so this is a different one. So this is the last one I'll be showing. Chad coming in here with another really nasty queen charge, using 5 super goblins at the start, just to kind of make his funnel. And like I said, Chad's really good about kind of personalizing his funnel. Now look at these healers. Healers are doing everything they can to kind of throw Chad off here. This is the worst when your freaking healers do this and they get froze by the ice golems. But luckily, the queen's taking everything out of range of any defense or enemy heroes. So not going to be the end of the world. He's probably going to use his poison over the enemy heroes, which would be ideal because then one rage kind of smokes everything in there, and he could probably get the town hall with the same rage. So gets the rage down. Yep, poison. Now watch how much value this rage is going to kind of garner his queen. Like like I said, there's a lot of space where he could have made this rage deeper towards the town hall, and I'm not sure that this rage is going to cover him to the town hall, which is probably going to end up forcing him to use another one at town hall. Yep, so doesn't quite get him through the town hall. Probably going to get another rage down. Boom. Now that's a good rage. Using more super goblins just to get those storages down quickly. And then he's probably going to freeze right here. Now he's wall breaking both sides open, not because that was like his intent. His intent is just to open up either way because it's a symmetrical base. So a lot of times on symmetrical bases, you don't really know exactly where your queen is going to step. So he's going to kind of elect to open up the channel to both. And then once he sees that his queen is going to wrap back towards that archer tower, what he's going to end up doing is using his hybrid to force his queen to just commit to that wave fully. And now she can utilize that wall break to kind of get to the other side of the base. So she's going to step in, get that expo. Hybrid's going to clear the bottom side of the base. Queen's going to end up wrapping around back to the top. And everything's going to kind of work concurrently here. Now you see the enemy RC not going down because of the freaking, the miners taking forever to switch to her. It's always like a risk. But usually, like I always say, you can get away with one enemy royal, but try to get as many of them as you can early, because as you can see, when I talk about time to kill, look at how much time to kill it takes for this RC just to clear a skeleton spell. And that whole time she's not taking out any of the defenses. So ends up having this hybrid kind of peter out because of that. But he still has a queen ability, bunch of P.E.K.K.A.s, or one P.E.K.K.A. and a bunch of wizards. So very nice job to Chad. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Getting a little TDH from Snip, Samurai. Nice to see him back. Like I said, we're just kind of taking it easy this week. We're going to get back into some Range Wars this weekend. And I'll be bringing you guys some more, high-level planned content at that point. But for right now, we're kind of just enjoying a small reprieve from the season. Really successful season. So nothing to hang our heads about. We were only back from retirement for like 6 months, and we ended up, going 4-4 in some really close wars with some of the best clans in CWL. So very proud of the clan, very proud of the guys. So be on the lookout for some more top level stuff coming very soon. I think we're going to try to put together a war with Croatian army, which would be very interesting. Those guys over there are gods. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your clanmates, share it with your friends. Thank you very much, baby. I'm loving the new thumbnails. You are absolutely killing it, and I think everyone else likes them too. So if you like the new thumbnails my wife put together, let us know in the comments. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next video. Take it easy.